First off, how's Sean come through? How's he feeling? And with illness, that can always be a worry. Is spreading? How's the rest of the team feeling?
Yeah, Sean's doing better. I think it really was a game time decision, to see if he kind of had enough in the tank. And he tried. He deserves a ton of credit. He really tried to get ready or get to a point where he could play. And it is, anytime someone's sick and the close confines that we have, it starts to make you a little nervous. We've seen it already this year at times. Hopefully, just praying that this was a kind of just confined to him, and I think he's doing better today, and anticipate this, him kind of being back here real soon.
You talked after the game and on your radio show about like the impact he maybe could have had in this game, but just like in general, what you're getting from Aaron right now, what you're starting to maybe get from Yvonne, what are you still trying to find at that center spot from a production standpoint? Because like I think those guys combined for 3 rebounds on Sunday, and certainly you want your 7-footers to probably be a little more active on the glass than that.
Yeah, I think complimented them the games before, because I view that, right, a lot of it right now is just a collective. What can we come up with collectively in the front court? And they had been pretty good. We talked about I can't remember the exact numbers after Penn State, but it was good. It was good. I do think we missed Sean. He's one of our best defensive rebounders. All the analytics would back that up. And we felt like if in the event they were going to go bigger, if their guy who had been out was available, we would be able to be bigger as well. Sean's the guy that I think really gives us that versatility. So we weren't quite able to do that as we had planned. But I think we missed Sean's rebounding, and also he gives us a presence in the paint, at being able to alter some shots or protect the rim, that we didn't do a good enough job at, specifically in the second half.
When you look at the size, I think you would think the opposite when Sean's out. Like, you still have guys that can protect the rim and whatnot. Why, in your eyes, what makes Sean better at that than maybe what you got yesterday, and what is there to work on with those guys that were in there?
Yeah, well, I think Sean's got great instincts. We've seen he's gotten some steals, but he also can alter some shots. He's a quick jumper. He's got some natural defensive instincts to protect the rim, and he's instinctual when it comes to rebounding too. And I mean for them, we actually, aside from a couple perimeter rebounds we gave up, which were critical. We did a good job on the glass, except on Johnson. He was dominant in there, and that was an important part of the game plan, no question. But his impact was too good. So I think Sean's rebounding, but his just instincts defensively, and he allows us to do some things, from adjusting schemes because of his versatility that we missed.
Sort of well, just sort of a bigger picture question as we enter February, and I don't know how much you'll like this, but based on what you expected going into the season of kind of where this team might be going into the last month plus, like where on that spectrum is this group, knowing kind of what you guys have gone through with guys being out and whatnot?
Yeah, that's tough. Because I guess I haven't really thought about that. I've been very vocal about what I think the expectations for this program should be, and I don't apologize for that at all. I certainly want that as fast as we can possibly do it. But, I think right now we have everything to play for. Like, everything is in front of us. We've positioned ourselves, well enough to be playing really, really meaningful games right now, and every game is important. So that's a good place to be in. Certainly would like to have a couple results back, and I think games, right, if we played them today, we'd get different results. I've been impressed with the way we've grown, really kind of in spite of some challenges, certainly, and we've handled those, I think, well. So there's a lot of good, but it's crunch time, right? Like we need to get those results consistently. We don't need to bat 1,000 down the stretch, but like we got a great opportunity. I imagine we got a lot of quad one opportunities down the stretch. So we got to get some of those. Like that's the reality of it. And great opportunity coming up here on Thursday. But, there's a couple specific games and moments of games I'd love to have back, and we could be maybe in an even better position. But I think when you look at the totality of everything we've gone through and the inconsistency of our lineup, and I like the ball we're playing right now. I really do. I like the ball we're playing lately. We played well for majority of the game yesterday. And, I feel like right now we're at a place where it doesn't matter who we go up against, where we're playing, like we're gonna have a shot at that one for sure. So it's a good place to be in, I think, in February, considering all the opportunities we have remaining on the schedule.
Yeah, kind of similar to that, Jake. You're a little past halfway in the Big Ten season. Entering this campaign, what did you want the identity of this team to be? Where is it now in terms of what you thought, and what has impacted that? Whether it's you wanted to run the ball and Michi's not around, put that together for me.
Yeah, well, I think let me start with just kind of a foundation for us of our program, and it starts with being really tough and being together. I think we're there. Like I think we've established that, and I think we've been pretty consistent with that throughout most of the year. Maybe there were some moments where we weren't as good early on, but that for me was important to establish that, because that's got to be a foundation for us, right? Moving forward. It's going to be important for this year certainly, but just moving forward. And then when you start to look at the schemes, I think I like that we're playing faster. My DNA would maybe even be able to try to steal a few more possessions quicker at times. But I think also you gotta be able to put your guys in the best position for them to be successful. And there's been times where we've had to control the pace. We get a lead in the second half. We've had to maybe slow down a little bit. I reflecting back on last game, we needed a couple longer possessions, there in kind of the middle of the second half. So I think we're playing tough. I think we're playing together. I like where we're at defensively. I think we're being aggressive defensively. We're getting we've been more aggressive lately defensively, which is important. I think the defensive foundation we have. Offensively, we're still growing from a ball movement standpoint. Last night was unique because of their defensive scheme. They really kind of force you into one-on-one or two-on-two situation. They really hug up on the perimeter and don't give you much, all their analytics would, I think, back this up. Don't give you much of an opportunity to create drive and kick threes. So I don't want to make too much of that, because I do think we've been getting better at moving the ball, and part of it is, when people think about pace, for me, there's that initial pace, but then there's the pace you're moving in the half court. That's an area we got to continue to get better at. I think we've improved. So in general, yeah, I'd like us, maybe to play with a little bit more movement. But I think we're learning, and we've had to adjust. We've had almost like 3 or 4 different teams, this season. And I think our guys deserve a ton of credit because they've handled it well. Our staff has handled it well. We've adjusted on the fly. Again, it's not exclusive to us. I know other teams go through this, but that can really test you. And, we've come out of that, I think, in a good place. And so now that hopefully we get some consistency, we'll continue to see the benefits of that. But I know there's a lot there. But I think, foundation, tough, together, that's got to be a staple for Ohio State basketball moving forward. I feel like we've established that part. And then some of our schemes we're getting better at. I think there's no question.
Real quickly, not to make excuse making, but the way you wanted to play with the changes, 3 different teams, as you said, Michi being out, did he factor into that faster pace that's presented some challenges?
Well, I think going into the season, we were certainly planning on, a big impact. And listen, I think I like to view things from just, a more positive lens. I think it's just how I'm wired, and the opportunity that, you look at Aaron being out, look at how that kind of pushed Devin Royal, right, to grow. And now you look at Michi being out and just how, like, John Mobley Jr.'s game has grown. Now, those guys' games would have grown anyway, right? But I just, the opportunity that it's created for guys, I mean, we're seeing Micah Parrish now be more aggressive, and that's going to be really important for us down the stretch. I mean, Bruce Thornton has been, he's been extremely efficient throughout the year. But yeah, I don't know that I just like, we've had guys step up, I think. When opportunities presented itself, we've had guys step up. And that's really cool to see. It's going to be good. Those are two young players who, like, it's great for them. And we're not, like, those guys both played over 30 minutes, on the road, CBS, against a ranked opponent. Like, and going into the season, would we have said, hey, those guys are going to be, maybe not, but they can handle it. They've proven that. And it's just we've just had to adjust. And so I don't know if the overall tempo and things necessarily would have changed. I like, the three guards. I like having multiple playmakers on the court. We've still been able to do that. So, and I think guys have stepped up. So it's been we have a connected group. I think we're seeing that for sure.
You're in this place, and you don't know if you need a 5-4, a 6-3. Like, you have no idea, right? But you're there, and I guess my question is, how do you stress the importance? Because you don't need to bat 1,000, like you said, but how do you stress the importance of any one of these games could be the resume, one that gets you in or even leaves you out, while at the same time, not freaking your team out, not trying to make them play perfect. If you understand what I'm saying, kind of how do you deliver that messaging of the importance of the here and now, but also not spooking these guys with still, 6 weeks left? Yeah,
I think with that much time left, you're still, like, you are focused on one at a time. I think there's still, there's a lot of time left, and you can't look too far ahead yet. Now, there's a reality to the opportunities, right? And as they start to get less, then that conversation may change to where it's like, hey, no, this really is. But we're not there yet. I mean, there's so much could happen in the next 2 weeks, right? That could change that conversation at, 3 weeks from now as to how it needs to be. So I think it's too early for that. The one thing that we've done is we've got some quality wins. We've played an extremely tough schedule, and we have a lot of quality win opportunities in front of us. So for right now, the message is still one game at a time and keep growing. Like, yeah, we did some good things last game, but we didn't do enough. We got to learn from that. Keep growing, just like we did after we won the last three and lost the one before. Like, we got to keep growing. There's still time left to grow. That's the way I view this. Like, I think there's still time for us. Like, we are not playing our best yet. We haven't peaked yet, and we got to keep fighting to get there. But we got to take it one game at a time too.
Yeah, with the front court, Yvonne, like, getting these extra minutes these last couple games, I guess, like, how has he benefited from this extra time? And then maybe someone like Austin. I noticed that, like, obviously there was a decrease in his minutes the last couple of games. Like, is he someone that could potentially fill in and get more time in the front court and I guess be a bit like a body there? Like, what do you see with those two, I guess?
Yeah, well, I think some of it's game by game, right? When the deeper you go into the rotation, I've been so impressed with Yvonne. Just the commitment he has to being a good player right now is as good as anybody on our team. He's spending extra time. His body's changing. He's told me he's grown a little bit since he's been here, so we'll take that, But I think you're seeing him move a little bit better, right? Like, you got to remember, he didn't have a summer, so he give him credit. He stayed consistent, and really the last 6 weeks he's kind of taken it even up a level when he wasn't getting minutes, and I think it speaks a lot to who he is and how much he cares and how much it shows he wants to be a really good player. So he's earned the right to play well. As far as, like Austin, this next game is a game where we're going to need everybody with size, like, ready to go, right? Because this is, maybe the best front court in the league. And so we're going to need everybody with size available. And Austin's got to keep working and staying ready. And, hopefully we can be at full strength to kind of have everybody available. But Yvonne's it started in practice. He was on scout team and was playing well. And he just kept going and kept playing well. And we have trust in him, and I think he knows that. And now he's got some confidence too.
And going into this Maryland game, is there any desire, I guess, even for revenge from you guys after what happened the last time?
Yeah, I think naturally there is. I mean, we're really a completely different team, than we were then. But yeah, make no mistake, we haven't forgotten about that. I think that's certainly, it's in the back of my mind. I want our guys though focused on this one. Again, like we're so different than when we were there. We've grown so much, and this is really a huge opportunity for us. That we need to take advantage of, and that's got to be the focus. Like we need to put our best foot forward. We know it's like they're a really good team. They're probably playing as well as anybody in our league right now, and we got to be ready for that. And we've had some moments lately where I think you could argue we're in a similar boat. So this will be a high-level game that I'm excited for again the opportunity for us to get a big-time quality win, and we need it. So we'll keep working and get ready. We need to have a couple good days of prep here, but I don't want our guys necessarily focusing too much on that because who they are right now and who we are right now are different, and we gotta focus all our energy on being our best for this one. But yeah, it's in the back of my mind certainly.
Part of what you said goes into my next question. I mean, it's clear you guys have grown since that game, just based on the results that the 3-game winning streak and all this stuff. Just before the 3-game winning streak before the Illinois game. But what are the biggest areas? How have you seen this team mature as you look back on where you guys were at the beginning of December?
Yeah, well, I think you've seen our defense improve, and really, I think there's been times where I've just maybe forgotten about and taken for granted just that this is new for our guys and the scheme and how we're playing, and you want it now, and you get frustrated because but we've had some time now to grow, and I think we're seeing that, right? So. I think defensively, I've been really happy with where we're at, and we haven't played perfect by any means, but it's our communication's gotten better, which has led to us being really connected. I think we've been tougher on the ball. Ball pressure has been better, and the challenge for us, kind of the last step defensively, has been rebounding. Weren't as good at times last night, but we've been better in that. And then offensively, turnovers, like it starts there. Right, that's been an issue for us. We've been better last couple games, and we got to keep fighting for that movement. That's kind of the last piece for us offensively. And I think in general, again, I've said this to answer the question earlier. We're playing tough. We're playing together. We're playing hard. We got to play a little bit smarter. Some of that's shot selection at times, and some of our turnovers. Some of it's execution defensively and communication at times, or fouling. We're having some fouls that it's almost like a mental lapse for a second. There's no reason to foul, maybe 2 to 5 possessions a game, given the game where we're just fouling really when we shouldn't. At least make them earn it. Don't give them an and one. Like, let's not give them a chance to get to the bonus so early. So that's kind of I think the last step for us. We got to play a little bit smarter, and we've improved. And we have the IQ in that locker room to do it. Some of it is experience. Some of our guys lack the experience, and some of our experienced guys need to, some of it's on them too. But like that's where I think kind of the last step for us down the stretch is if we can, because listen, we're going to be in close games. We know that. And those, 2 to 3 possessions on both sides of the ball really add up quickly. And, teams in this league, they make you pay. Like last night, Illinois made us pay when we weren't as just maybe locked in, dialed in as much as we need to. Again, I thought we played hard, thought we played tough, but that gets you to a point. Then you got to have that attention to detail and stuff to get you over the hump, especially on the road. in that environment. So I think it's all connected. Yeah.
When you played Maryland last time, it was December 4th, and you had a couple of games of film to examine them. As you prepared this time, like they're shooting the three much better than they were last time. Like, how different is it preparing for them now when you have almost 2/3 of the season to evaluate as opposed to early in the season where I don't know if we knew a whole lot about Maryland at that point. How different is it preparing now with all that extra time to evaluate?
Yeah, it's different. It's different. I think, you can always start with like a Kevin Willard team. You kind of know who they're going to be defensively, whether it's beginning of the season or later. Like he's got an identity, and but I think they're really at this point of the year, right? You can almost see on film like our team's connected. Maybe are they not as much? I think they're really connected right now. They're flowing offensively. They're shooting the ball with a lot of confidence. And they're unique because there aren't many teams really in the country that have the balance that they have both on the interior and on the perimeter. So, they're playing really, really well. They got momentum. Like they got a lot going for them, certainly right now. But like I said, I think so do we. I think we got some really good things going for us. And we just got to keep fighting for those, few better possessions every single game. All right, guys.
Thanks, Jake.